stage. If X is on the ball, she can just completely just dissuade a Wukong and a Lissandra engage, as Malphite's going to get picked up topside. Malphite into Nara is going to be a very interesting matchup, but I'm going to focus my attention on this mid lane one. I want to see how Jaina Proudmoore actually plays this. Going to play this lane. I assume it's going to be a Lissandra Vex. Yeah, there it is. The final stops came in. Lissandra Vex into Ashe. Or yeah, Lissandra Vex, Ashe, Caitlyn versus Karma, Renata. Like that's going to be a very interesting lane. But this top side, I can't really see anything exciting happening pre-6.
I see Malphite getting hard zoned potentially, because this is how Rack likes to play. Like, he likes to play these annoying kind of nuisance champs that just poke at you, prod and poke, and then kind of play on the edge of your range and annoy you out of lane. So I see if he plays it right, he might just hard gap the top lane. But that's if he does it pre-6, because in pre-6, pretty sure at 6 he's just going to get spam ganks by the
Wukong. Yeah, that's the problem. I think if Jaina gets prio, then this game gets very, very scary for that Nara that's going to have perma push.
Should have prior. Should get prior, because Vex can't push into him that efficiently. I think. Like, it's a tricky situation because you can't really hold your stun in a lane where you're just going to get pushed in, or your fear rather, because you kind of need to use your spells to push the lane back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna be interesting, because if Nara pushes and Lissandra has push as well, a glacial path over the back wall into a ring of frost, into a frozen tomb, and this Nara is dead before you can even press flash. So we're gonna see. I don't think there'll be party topside.
Yeah,
we're gonna see where Wukong starts. I think that's the main. He's probably gonna start bot side, because I don't think Ashe Renata are really too concerned about getting push, because they have so many ways to get push back with the Ashe volley, the Renata E. They have so many ways to like recontest push. Meanwhile, Wukong's racing against the Graves to get to 6 first and gank first, or get the scuttles. But we're gonna see. We shall see. As we're about almost like a minute and a half away from getting into game, because we have to wait for delay. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what runes we're going to get this game, because the previous game we got a Twitch with Hail of Blades, we got a Lissandra with Phase Rush.
Joseph. So E4's ADC. Laser Kiss is 4. Okay. Got an interesting bot side matchup.
But yeah, my focus is mid lane. That's like for this game, that's my premier matchup. Just based off of yesterday's games. But I also kind of want to look at it's there's a LPL player called The Shy who plays for Weibo. And he just has the permanent. What times do I play?
Yeah.
I'm a lowly ADC main, which means I'm depressed all the time. Yeah.
Even now, this season ADC's loving life, no?
I would agree with you if Heimerdinger wasn't a thing. Because what's ended up happening is I wanted to play like them, like either the pushing camps like Caitlyn, the ones that really do well in lane, but then you can't play Caitlyn into Heimerdinger. It's just a very bad time, because Caitlyn's best matchup is with like Karma, Lux, Morgana, and Heimerdinger doesn't really care because he's just going to poke them out. So also you kind of want to be playing more tanks. Sometimes you want to play Jinx, but then also they have a Heimerdinger and you can't really play. You can't really fight early. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
And
just ban Heimerdinger.
I would ban Heimerdinger, but Yuumi was still a thing at the time, and I kind of need to adjust to the new item changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're in game.
Yeah, we're in game, and doesn't seem like we have any random runes. Not at all, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna see how this develops. We have both mid lanes with electrocute, and that Gnar has fleet footwork. So I think that that early poke is gonna be something to keep an eye on. Unless Dabbers is just gonna opt for like an early Warden's Mail, because if he does do that, I've seen a lot of Malphite do it. This game gets pretty unplayable for Gnar.
Yeah, it does. But I think if he does, if he plays it right, he will bully the Malphite pretty hard in the early enough that it's tricky. It's tricky. I don't like the fact that he's gone Doran's Blade, because you should just go Doran's Shield into the Malphite, because you can just block the Q. Like, it makes his poke so much less efficient, and then you kind of still do the same thing.
Oh, straight Graves is just gonna go in and start hitting Lysandra. He's gonna contest for that red buff.
Just drop it
Really
forward.
aggressive. Yeah, really aggressive start there. If this Wukong grabs sweeper, seems like he's gonna start top side, grab the kill that ward, and then path bot side. Which is actually a really good heads up play, because Caitlyn Karma is probably gonna have push. If the Ashe Renata lane plays it properly, Caitlyn Karma is gonna have push, and then Wukong ganks at level 3.
Looking for this here individual. Anybody seen him?
Oh, and also Malphite is
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
very well aware that he's not going to get early control, so he's conceding. Yeah, he's conceding that initial push.
Yeah, but this ward
to
lets
this leash.
Since know that he's going to probably go bot side, so they should probably not push as hard, right?
We hope so. We hope so.
We do hope so.
Yeah, as Caitlyn's going to start top side, and I hope this Ashe and Renata are just going to try and pull this wave. They're not going to. Probably or probably hoping that the top side isn't aware of this. But they could have just walked up and dragged that first melee minion into the bush. So then Caitlyn loses 2 creeps of farm immediately. As there's a bit of trading going on in mid lane. Just autos being traded, but then keep in mind, Jaina never actually recalled after that ward placed by Graves. As you can see, yeah, this Karma Caitlyn lane just getting so much push just by Karma existing. She's just throwing out mantra Qs occasionally, and if the Ashe and the Renata player actually manage to pull that first couple of creeps, this would be a completely different situation.
That's not true.
Yeah, electrocute procs on both sides. There's a lot of early fighting going on. Quite an exciting bit of early laning, actually. As even though Cake and Karma got pushed, everyone's still level 2 at around the same time. And they're only 1 CS. They're all within 1 CS of each other, except for Malphite top, but he's going to actually pick this up from this wave.
Could be ahead if he gets it all, but it's going to be tricky. He's going to get zoned. Yeah.
As the Wallop comes in, Nara's going to take a turret shot, actually.
Graves is invading in the jungle, right? Could get caught, like Renata's looking to roam.
Yeah, Graves is 1v1. I think we have the first blood potentially. As Graves is going to walk out, the Renata's going to do the handshake probably. She's going to miss it. The exhaust comes through. The Renata autos come through. Wukong's claiming all of those, and the flash from Graves comes through, and everyone's just going to walk away. Graves
that was very lucky from Graves. He was very greedy. Tried to stay in there, and like he only kind of escaped because of his own skill as a player to dodge, rather than that was a very poor macro play, because it was he greedy knowing that it's roaming.
He potentially is gonna, if Wukong stayed, he could have actually taken both the scuttles. He could have taken this bot side scuttle and just run top side, taken the next one, and then just back from there. Would have probably got a machine off of that back. As top lane in isolation, yeah, still very even. It's actually Malphite favored because Nar took a turret shot earlier and lost that initial trade.
Nothing lane. Pretty like.
I'd be very surprised if we see anything gank that lane.
Well, yeah, not pre-6. I mean, he could, but yeah.
I think there's a lot more lanes that need your attention than Malphite versus Gnar.
It's more about the tempo of the gank rather than where it needs most attention. Because like, if he's clearing top and this guy's overextended like this, he hits 6, it can definitely go in. But right now, they have no way of killing him.
I think,
Then
yeah, we're
in the jungle. It's very
Yeah.
aggressive. He's playing on the fact that the lanes have prio. He's not winning these trades, so it doesn't really seem worthwhile right now. Like he's got his whole jungle up, and he's looking to pressure, but he needs to be just clearing, because otherwise he's gonna fall behind in XP and he's gonna fall behind. Yeah.
Yeah, all he's doing is he's just making it really, really hard for actual contesting of stuff. Because now, if in that state that he's in right now, if he goes bot side and tries to go for that scuttle, he's not going to get it. Wukong is almost 400, 500 HP up on him. If he tries to go for counter gank mid, Wukong is same 400, 500 HP up on him. But that bot lane is going to help him out, recognizing that jungle needs help. They're going to recontest for vision there. Yeah, that handshake coming through very, very clean. And Ashe is actually dropping a lot of CS, but that's just because she's been on the turret the entire time. It gets really, really difficult to farm without all of that AD.
Right, give me a kill here if you plays it. Oh, he's unlucky. He thought he was gonna turn it into Mega just
Now, yeah.
a bit earlier, and then he'd be able to R him back. But I think he just miscalculated it slightly.
Yeah, well, it's been 6 minutes, and this is about the last time we had first blood in the previous game. So, what lane is going to get first blood? I'm going to suspect that it's going to be jungle. I think this Wukong's just going to walk away as the blind comes through and the handshake just sort of swats Graves away. As Lissandra's going to come over the wall. She's looking for a flank, but she's just going to opt to back instead. As this Graves is playing with fire, and it seems to be working out for him more often than not.
He's adding a lot of pressure. I just feel like I don't know. I mean, he's lived both times, so it doesn't look like he's doing too bad. He's going topside again. He's leaving topside instead of going straight to his red. He's going. I don't know. What's he doing? Is he going to contest? He's pinging it.
I think he's very aware that this Graves Wukong matchup is very much on a ticking, like a clock. This entire comp, it seems like the E4 comp is almost a ticking time bomb waiting to happen.
Wait, does Graves get outscaled by Wukong?
No, I'm referring to the comp itself. Yeah, the
He's
E4.
level 4. It's not. This is stupid.
Yeah, he's going to contest for red buff. He's probably going to try and fix that as there's a fight going on top side. Nara is actually 1 level up on this Malphite, and Vex is rotating top side, but I don't think they're going to get anything from this except giving over 25 gold. But Nara's going to wallop him into the wall. He doesn't land the stun, though. He's going to keep trying to chase after this. He's going to throw the rock into the minion, but it doesn't really come out to anything. Grace is going to help push, but Lissandra's going to be here. I think there's an engage here. Wukong's not 6, though. He might get 6 off of his minions. He's going to start hitting. He needs to kill 1 minion to get 6. The glacial path comes through, but it doesn't go all the way through the wall.
It would have gone through the wall. If he'd taken it, it would have hopped him to the other side. He just didn't because they didn't.
Yeah, it's a very weird early game. There's been a lot of fighting, but not a lot of actual threatening fights. As Graves has been close to death about 4 or 5 times recently, but it hasn't really amounted to anything. They just don't have the damage yet. But Wukong actually picked up that Sheen. So maybe this next invade that Graves does.
He's not invading again, is he? Mate, Vince, what are you doing, Chief? What are you doing?
That's why we come to the UNL. Premium content.
Guys, going. Yeah. Oh, this should not be allowed. This should not be allowed. Roamed. I mean, I guess he knows because he's got mid ult. Bot's just giving it. Run across them. No, if you're not contesting, run across. They're late contesting, which makes no sense. Because now he's just getting out for free. Wukong should have just run across.
Yeah, he should. Probably potentially done like vertical juggling, like gone straight across the river. The Vex ult's gonna come in, but she doesn't have the fear. The Caitlyn Ace in the hole's gonna come through and get first blood. That BF sword that she picked up actually coming in a very, very clutch. That bonus 10 AD from picking up the BF sword. Looks like she's gonna do the Infinity Edge rush. As bot lane gets first blood, but not on jungle, so I lost that bit. Yeah, I think she's gonna go Infinity Edge. There's a lot in circulation about what the build on Caitlyn is. We're gonna see if they do it of building Affinity Edge straight into double crit cloak, which gives you that 60% crit and actually
Oh.
more AD than
That
you
does
would get
sound
if you
pretty
built
nice.
a passive. Yeah.
See, this right here, like yeah, I don't know. I feel like if he just goes Duran Shield in that early lane, it doesn't take any of the poke. It's the same level, kind of.
I suspect in like a very
Actually,
weird way, if he goes Thorn Shield, he actually kills a couple of times, yeah. Because he's not as low and he's not as scared of dying.
It's whatever though. I don't think he can actually kill him. And the Malphite has to really just play. Like he had that one chance when he unfortunate when he mistimed the jump in. That was his one opportunity to kill. And now it's a bit doomed. Although he could get caught here because they are all roaming up.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's
Yeah,
very bad
they've-
for this Nard. The ult comes through, the Glacial Pass is going to come around, the Frozen Tomb locks him into place, and the Wukong's just going to jump and finish the deal, but Jane is going to get credit for the kill there. Yeah, Nard should have...
It's a nice
Nard's,
guy.
yeah.
He's,
When you're over pushing like that, it's very, very easy to predict what you're going to do as that shock blast from
It's
Graves comes
really
through. The Ace of the Hulk comes through. I think there's a dive happening here. She has flash and he has heal. The ult's going to come through. He's going to stand on the other side, but Caitlyn's going to get a double kill. Graves going to tank those turret shots and they're going to walk away from that.
really good response.
2-4, yeah. 2 kills bot side, 1 kill top side.
I mean, yeah. It was a mixture of it being really good. Their bot side. Actually, to be fair, it was pretty much perfect. Like the guy just got caught as he French. Well played. Well
Yeah,
played.
really, really excellent there. And the gold lead, which was once within about 100 gold, is now ballooned to almost 2,000 in favor of Emerson's. Just on the back of this Caitlyn, and I would love to see what the gold between the Wukong and the Graves is. I don't think Graves is contributing much to this gold difference. But definitely the Caitlyn with all of that gold. Yeah, the Caitlyn is 2,000 gold ahead of the Misfortune, Ash. And this Graves is actually, it's about even. So all lanes are even, barring bot lane. But bot lane also got 4 plates and a triple kill. So 4 plates, a triple kill, and is almost 200 gold up, based purely on CS. As this Infinity is going to come through. And the Wallop's going to come through as well in top side, but I don't think it's lethal here. This Malphite's just too tanky. Then that Warden's Mail came through, like we were talking about in pre-chat.
That's pretty brave.
I don't think that Graves auto should be an indication of the fact that you're not dying there. Did almost negative damage as this Lissandra Vex is actually turning in a way I didn't expect it to. Vex actually just has perma push and has a lot more trading power. It's also because I think Vex's trading pattern is a lot easier to get off than Lissandra's one. Because Lissandra has to land some combination of QE.
I actually guess Lissandra's not actually that good. I don't
Oh, yeah,
the
the
range.
root's coming through.
Oh, nice flash out. Instant cleanse from Max Chris.
Yeah, but they're gonna get 1 kill and it's gonna go to Wukong, which isn't all the worst. Ash still gets the assist credit from using that arrow. I never figured it was gonna be this Vex favored, as Vex is actually finishing that Ludens Tempest. Lissandra is probably gonna back and get some way close to it, but actually she might not make it all the way back home. She's gonna have to Glacial Path out of it. Someone needs to block the shot, but no, the bailout's not gonna come in clutch. There's not gonna be anyone to get a kill, but Vex is gonna go in and get another kill. It's 3 kills bot lane. It's kind of falling apart in the bot side of the map right now.
Since are taking over in the bot side. They're really not respecting that they have absolutely no damage there. They needed to just run away there. They took a, I don't know. They kind of after that.
They got 1 kill in. They traded the mid lane, their bot lane, and their jungler's lives for 1 support kill. Mid bot and support for 1 support kill.
Good stonks in the business.
Yeah. So it's not looking too worth for E4, but it's looking very, very worth for Ever Since. But it's not. The game's not over. This Wukong finally finished their Divine Sundra. Graves built that Umbral, which would be good in a vacuum, but Malphite built Warden's Mail. So we're going to see how this scales. However, Renata's caught in a very, very awkward spot. That smoke screen also acting as a slow, and they don't really have a tier 1 to play around. So they're just going to back up all the way to their tier 2. And Graves is just going to continue doing what he's been doing this entire game. Taking Wukong's stuff.
I would like to see them rotate mid after the drag. Just look to take break open the map even more. But
yeah, ideally, what they should do is they should take Gnar, rotate him all the way to bot side, and put Vex top side, and then leave Caitlyn, Karma, Graves mid.
Yeah,
because that way you have a Gnar that is able to push out that bot lane for free. If he gets caught, he can probably make his way out of there. While we're talking, Gnar and Malphite are actually going to get a fight top side.
he's overstayed again though. Ow, big arrow.
Yeah, that arrow's coming through, and
that means he's going to save Jaina Bramble from keeping off.
yep, the kill's going to go to Jaina. I don't know what's going on. This is a very, how do I say, chaotic game.
Well,
For all
the thing
the
is, right,
weirdest reasons.
most of what's happening, I think they're respecting, or E4 are respecting that since they're stronger. And they're trying to make plays where most of the Sins team aren't. But
While you were talking, there was a
As I said
750 goal shutdown. Yeah,
they
that
did
Renata
just play
Berserk.
a massive fight in the mid.
That Renata Berserk. I think Malphite still has ulti there. He didn't use ulti at all to get that. It was literally just a combination of the Renata Berserk plus the Lissandra Frozen 2. And in that one moment, like the win con reveals itself, right? Like these guys need to. E4 can't be playing for the 5v5 because they're just going to get absolutely chunked. They can't play for skirmishes either. They just need to play to just kill one person immediately. They have so much burst on their side that they can basically look at whoever is on their screen and say that that person dies immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't write out the 5v5. It is just a case of if they can kill the Caitlyn. That is pretty good right now.
And they have a lot of easy access to the
They have a
Caitlyn.
lot of easy access. Well, yeah.
Yeah, they have the TP on Malphite, they have the flash on Malphite, they have the flash on Lissandra. Lissandra can just play out of vision, she has those oracles. So now the onus falls onto Blazercus actually to be setting up wards in positions where Malphite can potentially look for those flanks. Wukong's currently on the Krugs, and we're going to see if Rack does anything. I think he's just going to push the wave and keep eyeballs on Wukong so also his team can rotate topside. Yeah, it's literally getting on top of this Caitlyn. Caitlyn is literally priority number 1 at this point. Graves is there, but I think Graves' build is nullified a lot by the fact that the top end jungle on E4 can build armor. Which means
they should really. I hope they get this. Oh, it seems like a bad Herald person.
it's going to get one smack and probably die before the tier 2 comes, but Wukong's going to jump and ult on top of the Renata. The glacial path comes through. I think she's looking for an ult there. She's going to catch the Grave. Graves dies immediately. The Malphite ult comes in on Caitlyn. Caitlyn is dead, and Ashe gets the double kill as Wukong's forced to run away, but he can't run away from the Gloomy Moody. Vex as the 4-man ulti from Gnar comes through. And they're just able to walk away. It's 4 for 1, basically, but they might be going for the ace. They're going to get the ace there, and Malphite gets it. Malphite gets 2, and this Gnar pick is suddenly looking very uninspired, and this Malphite pick looking very 5-head all of a sudden. As they basically win a 5v5. You were right, that 5v5 from E4 is quite potent and dangerous, actually.
Yeah. They're not behind. They weren't behind at all. They were just all the gold is on Caitlyn, which is good, but Caitlyn's dies. You know, it's ADC. The ADCs die, so they just got clarted in that fight. The flash Malphite ult kind of completely shut down Caitlyn.
Yeah, I think the fact that they can engage from almost half a lane away does add to the peril of this Caitlyn, and that's one of the major flaws of this build. You don't have that Gale Force to get you out of there. But I guess you can't really Gale Force a Malphite flashing on top of your face. Yeah, because she still has all of her subs, so she died without pressing any of her buttons. which is very unfortunate. But the Malphite's actually suddenly caught in a very similar situation that Gnar was caught into. The Karma Root's going to come in. The Gnar's going to go Mega, but the Ashe is going to come in and try and save the day. Renata's here to potentially give him the bailout if he needs it. The Ashe and the Ace in the hole is going to come through. Malphite's just going to walk this out. No, Malphite's just going to walk this out. He's going to make it out alive. E4 managing to bail out their rock, and he gets to walk away. He has TP as well. He just needs to go back to base.
Dabish is a champ.
He can just TP. He can TP back to this fight. He can TP to mid lane, yeah, and he has ult as well.
Yeah.
And that Frostfire Gauntlet has finally been finished. Caitlyn's going to be trapping this, but they still have the other side of the bush that they can walk through. And now Malphite's in mid with Lissandra, and it's getting very, 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 very weird as these guys are just going to push through.
If they fight this properly, E4 just win again. They can just hard fight force. They need to not get poked out too much before, and they need to make sure that Gnar doesn't have Mega, which he has no charge of.
They only have 3 ults currently. Yeah, they only have 3 ults as well. They only have Lissandra ult, Wukong, and Malphite. So,
Oh wait, no, that's what they didn't have enough.
yeah, Renata ult's not going to be up. They're going to be dancing around this dragon, it seems. They just got to start hitting this, but I feel like this is a very dangerous spot to be hitting. This is a very dangerous spot to be hitting. It's Lissandra potentially has to go around, but Gnor's going to land a 3-man ulti into the Vex ulti as well. And I think the health balls are getting really, really
Ashe
low.
doesn't die yet, though.
Ashe isn't dead. She's going to be free hitting the Emerson. She's going to be hitting Gnar, sorry. As they clean up 2 kills. They lose the dragon, but it doesn't really matter. They're on the brink of an ace right now. Especially running to Baron.
Oh, he's got baited. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was really unfortunate. That was really good engaged by the Gnar, but I think because he's too far behind right now, he didn't one-shot the Ashe, and so that fight just like did not go favorably.
Yeah, this is getting very, very strange because Gnar needs to build enough damage to kill them. But the problem is if they don't kill them, there's not enough damage innately on their team to kill the other people they need to. Because Vex landed that ulti naked onto Lissandra,
Yeah, I mean,
but
that
she was
again,
so far away.
That was a bit of a misplay because if he'd have just focused the hard target, he would have got a much bigger combo off with the Gnar, and they would have won that fight a lot harder.
Yeah, she landed the ult on Lissandra, and Lissandra just walked away from Ashe. She just walked away from Ashe Renata. So they weren't in any danger at all. They just managed to just walk it out entirely, and Ashe didn't even die there. But it looks like they're setting up for Baron. How do you win this? How do you win this fight? If you're Eversense, how do you consistently win these fights? Because it seems like the momentum swing very much in E4's favor.
Yeah, I mean, they just need to get a good combo off, like Vex into some form of Gnar engage. Pretty much is the only route they have. It's a bit stucky. That's the thing with having something like all your gold on Caitlyn. She can't do that much because if she's walking up to poke and attack, she's just going to get engaged up, and then it doesn't matter if she's got 1,000 or 2,000 gold more than the other ADC. She's just going to die either way. So it's a tough one. I would say they got to wait. Just be a bit more patient. Maybe give the next drag. Try and scale up a bit, and then look for a pick.
They are on soul points. That is true. So they could actually just play. They could, in theory, give up the next 3 drags. Yeah. But the problem with that is that you end up with a triple stacked Chemtech soul on a Wukong Malphite. Which, for people who don't know, each dragon, each Chemtech dragon gives tenacity and heal shield power. Now the problem with that is Renata heals and shields a lot as is. So we're going to see if they're going to sacrifice this. A Chemtech soul with quad stacked Chem drags is very, very dangerous. But getting that soul on the Gnar is actually probably one of the easiest ways to come back in this game. Yes, we're gonna see people getting these resets off, and they're just gonna try and get out of here. But I think this is a bad call from Since because 4 people are topside. The Ashe, Wukong, and Malphite are all topside. They can set up. Yeah, they can set up a pick here, or they can set up the Baron itself. But they might be.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad.
Yep, the Renata ult comes through and Caitlyn dies immediately. She doesn't get a chance to cleanse because she used the previous fight. As the double fear comes through, the Malphite ult's going to come through and kill the Karma and the turret, but it's going to require the Wukong. The Gnar is going to go Mega. Gnar's about to go Mega, but Vex deletes them. The bailout comes through, and this, what was once a really good opportunity, might turn to be a really bad one.
And very
Is going to
sour.
come mid. I don't think there's lethal here. Actually, there is lethal, just in the wrong direction as the Frozen Tomb comes in, but Vex is just going to show her how cold her heart truly is, and they're just going to take the spam for free. What happened?
Nah.
They had such a good
Did they get
engage going in there. Yeah, they're going to get Baron.
Well,
it looks
well
like.
basically, what happened there was the Malphite ult was abysmal. Because he ulted a fucking Karma under tower bot by himself with a split and didn't use his ult on the Vex or the Gnar that needed to be peeled from his, like, back. Well, he needed to kill his backline.
Yeah.
Instead, he ulted Karma.
They tunneled so hard on the Caitlyn that they forgot there were 4 other people on the team. And that Vex was just doing so much damage. I think she landed a 2-man fear into a Luden's proc, which almost half health the Ashe already before the fight even like fully begun. And they burnt all of their cooldowns on killing this Caitlyn. In my honest opinion, they shouldn't have used Renata ult there. They should have used Renata ult for as the fight starts developing. When Gnar goes Mega, sort of, yeah, to kill that time.
There was a massive overkill. They panicked on seeing her walk in. Like she had no idea they were there. They just needed to use a Renata Q and then just one-shot her with like normal auto attacks and save her. Instead they blew their load.
But they're dancing on this dragon. The root comes through, and Wukong's ult is actually very, very much disengaged. As they just gonna go back to this dragon. They both junglers have spike, but the one has Baron buff. But there's no waves to push. Malphite ulti goes in. The Renata ult comes through. Vex is gonna just one pop.
1v9, Vex 1v9, Vex 1v9. Oh my god.
Davis is gonna die here. Vex is gonna get another reset off of on an ult.
He flashed. Did not
Ashe is within, Wukong's within 1 HP. Vex is just gonna throw a Q. She doesn't need much else, but she's not gonna get the Q. Wukong is just too fast, but I think Vex is gonna get the kill anyway. He's gonna flash to get out of this as Caitlyn kills the Sandra mid lane.
massive ults from the Vex there. Like,
Yeah, this Shadow Flame is doing a lot of work. I would love to, can we hover over Vex's Shadow Flame? Because I suspect it's done a fair bit of health through shields as well. Not to understate the rest of Eversense's contribution to these fights. I don't know what happened. It was somewhere between that third drag and this Baron, but they've suddenly decided like baiting Caitlyn is more often than not the best thing because they have so many ways to get her out of this. They have that Radiant Virtue on Karma that heals her through all of the initial burst. They have the Gnar that can just peel her off, and while all that's happening, Vex is getting these really amazing ult angles.
Yeah.
And just landing 3 or 4 man fears before the fight even begins. She deleted Renata before the fight even fully begun, just by landing ult and retaking.
I mean, it's a bit of that and a bit of the engages on E4 side have not been completely coordinated. Fully, like the Malphite's a bit out of time. So.
Yeah, the Wukong W into ult landed on a Caitlyn trap. So he was rooted before he could actually get on top of the team. And it became very, very subpar as it engaged. But it's not game over. The Chemtech Soul's still there, but the gold lead is only within about 8,000. Yeah. With a team like this,
they've always got the opportunity to play it, but it's getting harder and harder, especially with the Soul and Baron. They're in a much easier position now since they kind of closed this game out.
yeah, that
Siege all the inhibs down. Probably.
that Caitlyn's a 3 items Caitlyn, by the way. And she's also level 13, so her passive is doing 100% bonus AD.
For sure should have got PSS. But I guess she went cleanse, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, she needs something defensive. She needs a stopwatch or she needs a Guardian Angel. Because this game is still very, very losable. This is a very losable game. Especially because Lissandra is building that Rabadon's Death Cap. I don't want to see what a Lissandra Q with Rabadon's Death Cap does to a Squishy. Especially a Squishy that's not holding.
Never going to be in range.
That's the problem. But she also has her glacial path. She could be potentially looking for flags, but we're going to see how it works. I don't think Emerson is
But
going
I
to give
think
them.
Sandra's a bad pick into those two. Like Caitlyn always traps her if she uses her E, and Beck's kind of just diving into a stun. And it's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's looking very uninspired at the moment for sure. But there is still hope. There is still hope. It just takes one moment of concentration slipping.
They need a big R combo from Renata and Malphite, or Cassandra Malphite. They've got a lot of options. Ashe as well. Yeah, it's not over.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have to look at the summoners and be like, would teleport make a difference here? Getting sort of baiting Renata to get those really deep ward angles, and then Lysandra comes from an angle that's completely unexpected. She's just forced to clear out vision because Lysandra can't play the game when everyone can see her. As they're just gonna go and try and siege this top side. They don't have Baron anymore. And there's just tier 2 here, but they can't dive a Malphite. It's very, very ill-advised to dive a Malphite, especially when it throws on as well. As the 5-man rotation comes topside, Graves gonna pop that ulti there.
They're just gonna take this for free. There's no way they contest. If they contest, they lose this fight pretty hard. So.
I think Renata's gonna hover. No, Renata's just gonna back away, so it's actually a 4v5. And I think Nai's gonna go. That ulti comes through. He's within 1 HP. He's not gonna get it.
Killer Vanilla with the snipe. Oh, another one. Will he take it? My man's telling me no.
Should have taken it. The Killer Vanilla, I knew could have taken it. But anyway, they're just gonna siege this top side. Can they end potentially off this? They have a wave, but it's a 4v5.
They just need to hit the like closer turret. They're not going to though.
Yeah, there's four people alive that are currently sieging at the moment, so I don't think it's the most advised decision to try and go for that. But yeah, this game seems like it's wrapping up very, very soon. Like, this Vex is currently rolling through people. And not an ounce of magic resist, because people need the damage. They need to be killing other people, but they can't do that when their health bars are basically 0. You saw what happened to the Renata earlier, but just interacting with the Graves, not even the Vex. It's becoming very, very unpleasant.
The teams are getting punished for picking too much tank, or not enough damage. I see. I guess they do have the damage.
Yeah, this Baron's getting melted. I don't think there's. Yeah, they can't contest this. They just have to sort of sit there and bleed
It's an
slowly,
elder
but I think,
fight, but I don't see how they win from it.
yeah, there's no TPs. They might just be forcing mid lane. But this also puts them in a very precarious spot, wedged between a turret and a hard
The
place.
final fight. Here it is, boys. What will happen? Oh, Ashe out misses. That's not a good start. They close them into the base.
Yep, that inhib is going to go down, but I think this is a very, very bad spot as the Sandal comes
One
through.
shot on Graves.
Yeah, the Graves going to be one shot. Just need one with the ignite. He's ticking, he's going to burn, he's going to die, drop immediately. Wukong is actually on the other side. There's a fight of 2 fronts here. As 3 people die immediately, as this Ashe is going to be free hitting. Lissandra's trying to walk away from this Gnar with Baron buff, but I don't think she's going to get all the way, as Caitlyn's going to auto down the Malphite. Too many items, too much gold, and too much damage, as ever since squeaks up the win.
Good game.